Hey everyone, it is, it's December 15th. So we have Wednesday the 17th and then Thursday the 18th. We'll do our last associate operators, users, associates Zoom on Thursday at 5 p.m. But also we'll do one more of these Wednesday for 2025. That doesn't mean that go away. I actually work still, even on Christmas. I'll still be putting in time. I'm trying to remember what the actual date is of the Monday after New Year's. New Year's is the first, so second, third, fourth. I believe it's January 5th and January 7th and January 8th. We'll be back. We'll do three that week, and we'll go back to our two a week schedule after that, starting on the 14th and the 15th. By then, we'll be rocking and rolling. We're looking at bringing in considerably, probably about 100 people in the month of January. A lot of EXP and some other real estate agents and a lot of TCs and a lot of transaction coordinators. We're gonna probably bring in close to 1,000 people next year, which means we're pretty much going to dominate we're going to dominate. We're going to not only dominate but eliminate. Now I can't ever make 100% guarantees, but I can say RCIC is 90% accurate. It's as accurate as your buy box. Let's just jump right in. We're gonna have some people probably come on. If not, no big deal. I've got like 20 people that want the video. It's obviously Christmas time, so let me just go into so sometimes I'm a little bit more productive, showing you guys what it actually can do, and then like I said, we will have. Yeah, let me just jump right in and show you guys. So basically, you guys saw that email that I said I get these emails every couple of days. I got two this morning. I got four last Thursday, about 3 p.m. between 3:30 and about 4:30 last Thursday. I got two this morning, and this is actually what you guys are seeing as Jefferson County NED 12/1 to 12/15 through today. Obviously, that's the notice of election demands. These are actually the notice of election demands. These are foreclosure filings just in Jefferson County, Colorado alone since December 1st. So we're talking about the last 2 weeks. Let me go ahead. I got some people coming on. Hey, Jamie, what's up? How are you? Mary, nice to meet you. Let me try to get you guys unmuted.
Hey Nate,
Hey, how are you?
I'm great, brother. How you been?
Pretty good, man. What's up? I see you're busy all the time. Yeah, man. Hey, Mary, how are you?
Oh,
Cool. Let me I know you probably I think you're from the TC groups, right? The transaction coordinator
yes.
groups. Okay. Let me I'll kind of just show you because I can go into a little bit of the transaction coordination stuff in a minute, but what I have on screen right now is the RCIC GPT with OpenAI. So it's pretty sweet what I have on here, and I can go on and show you the transaction coordination. Is I get these emails every. I got four of them Thursday. I got two this morning. You guys can see this is kind of set up some of the this stuff. Don't worry about any of the coding stuff because I actually provide you guys good stuff to input. But you guys can see this is actually what I got this morning from basically from Jefferson County, Colorado. We have I have 50 markets programmed into it to search through and priming the markets. 6,513 zip codes. I'll be going to 250 markets, and that's going to be probably 25. I don't know exactly how many zip codes. I'm sure that's going to be like 25 to 30,000 zip codes. So this kind of shows you what I got in the this morning, and I get these all the time. So generally, once people onboard, which takes about an hour and a half, they put in their buy board, their buy box, and transaction coordinators can also have TC mode. But people can actually, if you see these, it'll actually put on these these little links, and I call them on ramps and off ramps. I know Jamie, it's probably new to you too. I know you've been on once or twice on this, but the on ramps. You want to think about this as an interstate highway, and these are off ramps and on ramps. These little things will go right to like the court of judicial branch. At the court of judicial branch, I'll be able to go get probate evictions and civil, and you actually get the filings. And I'm going to show you. I'm not going to pull one of these up here now because I already prepped that blue box that I showed you on the NEDs down below. But like I go to the public trustee and I can go right to it actually takes me right to the foreclosure filings and the weekly reports. And I'll also go to overbid funds. They have overbid, which is overbid is something that a lot of people in real estate, I didn't even know about it. I've been doing this 8 years with private money brokering and capital connector. I just learned about overbid and surplus funds late September. It's kind of an interesting process, and every state, just about every state has them, but not every state does it the same way. In some states, sometimes people are leaving money on the table. There's times when like the lender gets $200,000 back at foreclosure because they get repaid off the bid. If there's overbid, let's say somebody bids 208, they don't. In some states, they don't get the $8,000. It goes into, it's basically overbid and surplus funds. So there's some different processes, and I do have a workbook and a process for people to actually go and look, because in some cases, if this may be something new as a transaction coordinator you never heard about, that you can always throw out to your clients, that if there's surplus and overbid funds, most of the time they're left on the table, and after a certain time they get forfeited to the state in many states. So people can actually, like buyers and others, can go and actually claim this money after a certain time. It's kind of an interesting process. I do have it set up in RCIC in one of the modes for people to actually start seeing this. Let me see, we got Dakota coming on right now. Got another person. Sometimes I'll stop if I got somebody on. We're not going to go too long tonight, just because I know everybody. This is Christmas week. Normally I do 2 a week on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm doing it tonight, and then we'll actually take off for the next 2 weeks. Normally we do our Zooms on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Hey Dakota, how are you? How you feeling, buddy? Let me see if we can unmute. If not, we'll continue. So these so it's a pretty interesting process, and we break it down for you. So what we're able to go through is, like I said, the foreclosures and all that. And like I said, we can put every county in there. When people onboard, they go in and set up their buy box. It takes about an hour and a half. People can pretty much onboard in about 30 minutes, but I tell people to spend an extra 30 to 45 minutes doing their markets, doing their counties and zip codes. It's easier to search with county and zip codes. So, and I tell people don't put in a ton of right away. Start out with 3 or 4 or 5 zip codes and maybe 10 zip codes, or counties, and then about 10 zip codes, and then basically build up from there, because then it starts. You start getting these emails probably within 30 days. It's about a 7 to 14 day process to start it, and then you really refine it. You are literally able to set your buy box exactly. Nobody at RCIC, nobody who uses it will get a bad deal. Every deal, like I said, if you get 100, let's just say there were 74 foreclosures filed in El Paso County, Colorado in November, from November 1st to the 30th, which is Colorado Springs for those of you who don't know, if you know Colorado. El Paso County is Colorado Springs and all the areas, all the little communities around it. Out of that 74, let's say your buy box, it might bring you 8 of them. And these are 8 deals that meet their exact requirements. So nobody's getting a bad deal. It's really cool that way. Nobody has to go and skip trace either. Everybody gets all the information right from these. These are filings with the court. This is for the probate court, or eviction filings, or the foreclosure filings. So people have all the information. Nobody needs to go and pay for skip tracing. So this is really sweet. Get evictions and all that stuff. So it kind of breaks it down. There's a little technical stuff in here. I go with it, but I'm going to show you guys what I got this morning and what I was able to do. So you get down in here into this area, and you guys can see this list right here. It's just what I inputted into my Ask Anything. Everything happens in this prompt bar, so that's where you can add photos and files, things like that. There's also agent mode. I run everybody through it pretty quick after they onboard, but it's pretty processed. With the more thing, you can actually go into agent mode, which you probably just saw. It's a little bit, agent mode allows you to deploy agents. So agents are like, and you get that in the onboarding process, and an agent could be out there, go run through, every week, go through and run the AHJs, what we call them, authority having jurisdiction, the county clerks, and all that stuff that I just showed you guys, probate courts, trustees, sheriff. So like I said, in my state, you can set it to go and actually tell you there's filings. Yeah, it won't actually bring the filings onto the screen because some counties are really sophisticated and some run like Andy Griffiths is the sheriff. I mean, like Mayberry, it's like really, you can imagine a lot of jurisdictions can be very, have a good website. They have all the documents. Sometimes it's a PDF. You just download the PDF. On this case, I just went and copy and pasted with my mouse. So it's actually able to bring all these, you get the case numbers. As you guys can see, this is a case number, J2500452. It'll give you the name of the people. You get their address. You get their subdivision. You get their principal. You get what's owed. You get the date of their sale. So this one's 4/9/2026. So you got time to. Somebody has time to negotiate with this. There's a NED recording. It goes into further in there. You can get all. You can actually get the mortgage company. You get the account number. The interest rate. You get everything. I mean, you get everything. It's pretty cool. So what I've done is I've actually gone and entered this. So what it's going to do now is it's going to normalize and summarize. It's going to aggregate the counts by the zip code, and then it's going to flag notable properties and patterns. Now, mine isn't a defined buy box exactly because I'm doing this for like everybody, priming the market. So I don't have an exact, so it's not going to pare it down for me. What I'm trying to do is show proof of concept that this can be all done. And then what people can do with this is they can go pull comps. They can actually go and determine their ARV. And we have now rehab mode. And rehab mode uses HomeWise. HomeWise is home, then Wise is WYSE.com. And you can go in there and it actually will help you use HomeWise for rehab pricing because HomeWise generally, I use, you can use it for like what insurance companies pay if a home is damaged by hail or wind or something. So it's a pretty good price point. It's pretty accurate. You can actually do your scope of work in your rehab with it. So it comes out all this. You can generate CSVs. You can generate PDFs, Words, all that stuff. So there are 13 total what they call notice of election demand. Keep in mind in some states a judicial foreclosure is called a lis pendens, LIS, and then PENDNS. So there's a couple different processes, but you can actually customize during your onboarding what process your state and county and all that require. So it gives the aggregate counts, which is cool. It shows which zip codes are good. So these are all these zip codes in Jefferson County, Colorado, that I'm looking at. And I live in 80439, and I don't see there's nothing been filed in 80439. 8041 is Golden. If you guys know where Coors is, Coors Growing Company is in 8041. Things like that. So it gives a good idea of what's going on there. So then it'll actually come out and it'll say, here's some Golden Ridge townhomes in Golden. It gives you some good idea. It starts giving you, so everybody that's in this can get the strategy. Here it's telling you what the motivation is. It's HOA stress, dues delinquency. So you can go through and you can actually then literally pull the address up and it comes up with what's likely going on there. So it gives everyone a sense of how to pursue this opportunity. So it's really, really sweet that way. And then it gives a couple of different strategies. You're able to determine equity and all that stuff. It's really awesome that way, what the spread is. So here's a balance, it gives the lowest, there's $88,248 on Balsam Street, where the highest is $653,488, which is Warren's Road, and I'm not sure exactly where Warren's Road is. Even though I've lived in Jefferson County my whole life, it's there's something I still don't know. But there's a wide spread, so it gives you multiple strategy lanes: wholesale, rehab, creative, finance, overbid. So it gives you, here it is. It has the actionable opportunities. I'm going to talk about the TC stuff in just a second because I think all of you are interested in that. But I set this up just because I have some other people in the group that I'll send this video to. We always talk to everybody. We have 190 people in the group. About 40 are using RCIC now. And I did not, for those of you that are new, I know Jamie's been in the group for a while, but it's we talk to everybody like everybody's here because some people, you get busy, got families, things like that. Everybody gets the video. I put this video out 30 minutes after the Zoom is done. It's pretty cool. I also give everybody when they join, when they get up on board, they get a card from me. It's basically a visual. It has my phone number, my 7-day schedule, and my email. So this is the CSV stuff real quick. And it'll also give you the play, to run comps in the equity screen, cross-check eviction filings, add these to the nurture tracking. And it gives a score, and then you can go merge all this stuff. So what we're going to do tonight, let's talk about, real quick, about TC mode. And you want to talk, there's a prompts, and I give everybody, here's some prompts. But you can talk to it just like a normal, and if you ever get stuck, you go back to default mode. There's 9 modes plus comms mode. Comms mode is like, it's awesome. It's like, it gives you the ability to go and talk, it's layered, it's pretty cool. Now what you're seeing here is a little bit of buffering, only because these chats you guys see on my left side of my screen, sometimes I use them a lot, so sometimes the more you use it, it starts slowing down a little bit just because they're full of information. If you can see on my screen, then I would open a new chat, new project. I'll show you guys before we leave. The RCIC prompt assistant is what everybody gets after track. So what will happen is if this thing stays a little bit slower, then I can usually on a Zoom, it's a lot easier for me to, if I'm just doing it myself, I'm just going to go ahead and close it out, start it, because as soon as I start back with my icon and my taskbar, it's going to have printed on the screen. So I do that sometimes on Zoom sessions just because I don't want to bore people having to travel around and get back to the Zoom. But let's see if I can do that. Sometimes it's I just got to try to. And this is only just because you guys are because we're on the Zoom. So give me 1 second while I get back to it. Yeah, sometimes I have to get back to so we're doing a live Zoom and all that. So I just have to real quick exit, go back, and then I can restart it. This only happens because I'm doing the Zoom. It doesn't normally happen with you guys on that, so give me 1 second. There you go. So normally, just if you have to do that, or if you have to hit refresh, which is up on the left, it happens right away. It's just I have to, and I'll show you guys. Let me get back to the Zoom. So give me 1 second on there. Should be real quick back on there. There you go. Okay, cool. You guys should be able to see me if you guys don't see it now. You guys will see it now? Okay, let me get that real quick. Okay, now I'm back to there. Like I said, that normally doesn't happen unless I'm on the Zoom, just because I got to move around the Zoom a little bit. Otherwise, I just usually, sometimes it'll start, and it takes a second to reboot it. So here you guys see when in that whole process, it was actually, it goes through, it searches, most of the searches happen. I mean, literally, if you're using a fresh chat, it's right away. Once you start using the chat a little bit, it can take 30 seconds to a minute. Like I said, I apologize for that. It's just, that's the best way for me to get around when I'm on a Zoom. When I'm just doing it by myself, like I said, I'll just close it, and when I reopen it, it's there on the screen. It's just something that works in the OpenAI. So you guys are most of you are in the TC business or trying to be here. So the TC mode is obviously, we've set it up, we got everything because I've watched those groups, so I know what everybody's looking for. So think about this, if we've got the 9 modes in RCIC, and you guys just saw what we do in the distress mode for finding foreclosures, but imagine being tied into one system where you guys can, even as TCs, you can go back, you can go to any of these modes anytime. Nobody's restricted. You guys have access to everything. So if you wanted to, as a TC, you start seeing a lot of customers that are doing a certain asset class or a strategy, you can go learn about it. You don't have to go and pay extra to anybody or do anything extra to pull up that information. You can ask in the prompt bar, hey, can you teach me about mobile home parks? You teach me stuff. So that way, if you see a mobile home park come up, you might see some things that maybe you might have somebody else to go and pay for extra, because a lot of this education people charge a lot of money for. So everything is in here. I've inputted. I don't know, Jamie, you can probably say because you've been in the Facebook group a lot. that I probably have about 300 downloads in the Facebook group and files tab. And I've been doing this 8 years, a lot of 100-page workbooks and things have been inputted. I had 19,000 total contacts, family office, hedge funds, lenders. These are contacts, not firms. Some firms may have 20 people on them. And we pared that down to about 5,000 that are lenders and fund managers or funding sources. There's some family offices and hedge funds that do real estate. So we pared it down. So when people are in the process of going through the process, like I said, they start at the distress level where I was showing you to begin with. They go through ARV comps, all that, doing rehab and scope of work. It can generate offers. And it'll generate all the correspondence and all the paperwork. So that way it's all compliant. And then at the same time, you can go through what lender match. And the lenders will actually start pulling all the lenders that meet the requirements of that deal, and it'll rank them. It'll score them between 0 and 100. Obviously, 90 to 100, that deal's going to go through no problem whatsoever. 80 to 90, it's a good deal. Probably take a little bit of massaging. 70 to 80, a lot more massaging. It's still going to go through. I tell people if it's under 70, don't do it. It's just so we put an algorithm in there basically to rate it, and it'll pull up out of all the lenders. It'll pull up maybe here's 5 lenders that can do this deal. It can't send anything. Even if you use a TC, you still would have to save it to PDF, Word. But everything you guys see in these TC groups where people are asking, you can do this. They talk about the companies, A-frame and all that. You can, if you need something, you can add it yourself or you can have me do it. The other thing is, I can't see what you actually do. This is 100% safe, and you own it. People get a bit.ly link in the activation process. So once you put that bit.ly link in, you get this prompt assistant. I'll show you guys when we're done after I go through the TC mode a little bit. So everybody owns it. It's like you don't have a subscription. There's no monthly. After onboarding, it's $20 a month with OpenAI. As long as you have that, you're good. I could get hit by, I joke, people know in our group, I joke, I said I could get hit by a bus tomorrow and everybody's still good. Nobody can see what you're actually doing. It's 100% secure with all the information you put in. So it's really, really phenomenal. And you can actually go and create your own GPT, which creates this like a prompt assistant like I have here. You can create your own. I recommend it. I help people do this. Starting in January, with everybody that's on board, I will be doing a 3-hour tune-up. 1 hour will be a live session I do with everybody specifically for what their business is. Prior to that, I'll be sending a questionnaire out that I've got everything, and you basically put what you need, what you need for your system. We call it an ecosystem. What do you need for your ecosystem? What are you doing? What are you having issues with? You send me that, I'll look at it. Then during that live session, we'll try to get it all tuned up. Then about a week or two later, after I've spent some time, I'll come up with some more recommendations. So I'm trying to give everybody 3 hours, and we'll 3 hours to do a tune-up session where we actually dial in your business. You can run this 100%. It's awesome. The only complaint I've had, obviously we got little quirks I showed you guys one already with just working around the Zoom. Most people aren't doing Zooms while they're doing this. But I can, I tell people what the quirks are. There's some issues sometimes with typos and visuals, and it's constantly improving. But obviously the only complaint I've gotten is it's addictive. So you guys can see the rabbit holes. So you go through the TC mode, controlling the timeline, the contract, the earnest money, titles, order, objections, appraisal, loan conditions, closing docs, funding, recording. So you own the critical path, and I'll do a PDF, and I'll send everybody a PDF after we're done. So you own the critical path. Then you control the documents. So you got one source, you got the contract, you got amendments, disclosures, the inspection reports, the invoice logs. You got, all the logs, all the paperwork is in this. I have 20 modules, also learning modules. People can go through at your own convenience. And you go through and it helps you set up a business. And then it also has about 25 spreadsheets kind of that have been inputted. This thing also is great because it doesn't necessarily operate on spreadsheets, but everything that you do with a spreadsheet with an Excel, it'll actually generate for you. And you can save it in a PDF or an Excel, or you can save it any the normal different ways. So it's all already here. So if you need something, you can generate it. If you need a log, a different type of any kind of payoff letters, you need to write anything, we have comms mode. Comms mode can help you with all the correspondence, all the letters writing, all the emails, all the texting. You can ask it to check the texting against SMS for your text messaging, make sure it's all good. You can do everything. I've also put 100 influencers in there, and meaning these are personalities from history, and it goes all the way back to 1803 to 1835. My great grandfather, I don't know how many greats are. I tried to figure that out once. Was John Marshall? You guys can look him up. He was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and he was actually Secretary of State at the same time. So two jobs you can't obviously do together now. But so I have him in there, but I also have a couple World War II generals. In modern times, I have Chris Voss. A lot of people in real estate know who Chris Voss is because he does all the big conventions and big conferences. He was an FBI negotiator, and then also his mentor Gary Nesner, who was obviously he was negotiating on the Waco siege back in '93, but he was sent back to Washington like a week before the fire. So, but he was a legend. He was the guy that created the FBI's negotiation program. We also have some British SAS guys, Paddy Mayne and who was David Sterling, who founded the British SAS. In the 1970s, Delta Force was created off of the SAS. These guys were World War II legends. And I also put a lot of other people, Grant Cardone, some sports people, Peyton Manning, Danica Patrick, Bill Belichick, things like that. So what it does, if you guys are looking for a particular style of communication, and maybe it's not you, but it needs, you can ask, like I was showing you earlier, it has strategies. So that strategy may say, hey, you need some empathy. Well, why not pull up Chris Voss? Because obviously he has a whole system of, he was talking guys in who are probably going to prison for the rest of their life, or holding hostages or whatever. So you want to, it can help you craft all of your messaging, your correspondence, your letters, everything in their tone. It basically pulls all the public information. So I put 100 influencers in there. So you got all the documents. So then you got the risk. TC, you're not a patient pusher, you're a risk manager. So title defects, liens, HOA surprises, probate authority, eviction occupancy, insurance issues, appraisal gaps. So think about what I just showed you guys when I was talking about the NEDs, the Notice of Election Demands. If you can access the AHJs, where you can go and you can cross-reference, you can pull things if you need to. If the title company's late or something on getting the title back, you may not, there's, in some states you may not be able to do anything with it, where it's a certified process. But you could at least go and be able to do a cursory check yourself without having to get a third party for your client. So a lot of stuff you guys can do, and you can do these usually in seconds to minutes. It does not take hardly anything at all to do these. And I can show you guys. There's some videos I have on YouTube of it. So it's pretty cool. Then you got all the communications, obviously. So who knows what, by when, and what happens if they don't do it. I give you a couple, Dropbox, the free version. When you start out, if you've got Dropbox already, connect Dropbox, the free. It'll actually help you set up files and folders. I have over 2,000 files and about 300 folders. But also there's a program called Airtable, airtable.com. You can get the free version. And you watch a couple, some YouTube videos. You can build it yourself, airtable.com. You get Airtable, and I know some people are used to Zapier. You can do all that yourself, and you fully automate your TC business. That's where you can start setting up you can set up all the schedules, all the notifications. When you guys are using your agents, which you deploy here, let me try, sometimes it's a little faster. So when I go through and I pull up my agents, that's agent mode. I'm not going to do it right now, but what you do is you go in agent mode, you get 40 agents a month. So an agent could be like what I was showing you guys earlier. It could be just going out and pulling up in your markets. You got 10 markets. Can you go out and pull the NED filings and the other filings? You can set it that way. You can use another agent to pull up. You can start. Use an agent for your clients. Go out there and let me know what all deadlines are next week. What paperwork has to come up. So you got 40 agents a month you can deploy at your will. So it's a pretty cool process that way. We got a checklist that's in there. Like I said, I've got a pretty thorough checklist, and it's about 30 minutes after contract. We got the fully executed contracts and all the addendums, the buyer-seller contract, agent-lender. We got the earnest money instructions and deadlines is all in there, so you can pull it all up. title company contact, closing dates, possession, and you guys can save it as you guys put your information in there for your clients and their lenders and all that stuff. You can save it like in a Azure table, like I said, and save it in Dropbox. It also can do Google Docs and Google Forms, and it'll actually help you build it. I can build a Google Doc that takes about 30 minutes. If I just build it myself, I can build it in less than 10, like 5 minutes sometimes if I need to make one, and just tie it to here, and it's awesome. I mean, it seems simple compared to what I've seen people ask for in like the groups. What I've seen people like, it's a lot simpler than people think. Everything in here is simple and it's yours. You own it. You don't have to worry about ever, needing an upgrade or update because you'll be able to do it pretty much yourself at some point, within probably 90 days. I tell people they onboard in that first 7 days, do a couple sessions, and then after 7 days, there's PDF 1, which is the onboarding, and it has the step 2. Step 1 is getting OpenAI subscription, $20 a month. Step 2 is putting the Bitly link into this prompt bar, which I'll show you before we go with the RCIC prompt assistant, what you get. Then a week later, I have PDF 2. Some of it's redundant. There's a reason it's redundant, so you'd be like, I just put this in. No, put it in again. You put it again, you're going to see that next week, between 7 and 14 days, it's just going to light up. And you're going to have a lot of stuff. And then within 30 days, I tell everybody it becomes predictive, meaning this is going to learn you. You're training it. At first, you are training it that first 7 to 14 days. Over that transition, then it's trained. It starts knowing you. It knows your business. It knows your workflow. It knows how you do things. It knows how you talk. It'll talk to you like you talk to it. After about that 14 days, really about 2 weeks, in the next 2 weeks or 14 to 30 days, it's going to think faster than you. It's going to think better than you, and it's going to basically become predictive. And you can set these agents up like just a regular investor can have an agent go out there, find the property. Another one can pull ARV. You can tie them together all the way through the process. We have a system called Overnight Deal Engine. Those of you guys who know Willie Ingram, he's been in our program in my group for about 3 years. You guys know him because he's a TC and all that. And he put 50 deals in for a client in the Overnight Deal Engine, put 50 deals in, woke up the next morning and it fully analyzed everything. He had them all done for his clients. Really impressive. We also did have somebody try to put 900 in. That didn't work, so don't put 900 in. There are some limits because you run out of agents. It's not that the system doesn't work, but the agents won't go out there, and you won't be able to get the agents out there that you need to do that many. So it has everything in here, all your closing dates, all your possession terms, all the title company stuff is in. I've already got it all into TC mode. You got the transaction tracker, you got calendar invites, deadlines. You can put all this together in when you're on board. Then you get your next 48-hour email, and it gets into everything. Your title, your HOA, everything. And you guys can see where you can go to the AHJs, the counties, and you can actually go directly to it for free and pull up what you need if you need to go back and get if you need to go get an assessor card. And I'm also usually between 8 a.m. and noon, 7 days a week. Usually I'm right there with my laptop. In the afternoon I can help. If you guys give me a call, hey, it's like noon or 12:30, can you say I'll be at my laptop at 2. We can have you can send, always just like screenshot, you can take your mouse like this and just copy over it, copy and paste it, put it in a messenger, send it to me. I'll put it in, I'll get an answer for you, I'll put it in PDF from the system directly, send it back to you. That's usually the fix. We can fix that's how we're doing things. You don't have to worry about these support tickets and things with these other. Now I don't know what's going to happen when we get 1,000, 2,000 people in it. I can't say what's going to happen at that point, but right now everything we have, everybody can usually just dial in. If there's an issue, just send it to me. Most of the time it was even just me having to learn in the first couple months, because for those of you that don't know me, I didn't intend to build this. I was going to build 7 components into 3 websites covering everything real estate investor. There's going to be a website that was going to do with all the lending and all this stuff. It was going to take me 3 years. I was going to have 4 of the components up by now, 2 in 2026, 1 in 2027, while preparing all this information, taking all my library, extensive library put together for 8 years. I literally just created this because I was using the AI to actually prep everything to hand to some developers to build, and I'm like, this is better. It's 100% secure. This is unlimited. You can do whatever you want to do with it. If you don't have AI yet and you get it, If it's OpenAI, you're good. OpenAI is going to be doing an IPO next year, and they're probably going to be up there in the ranks of Tesla and all those companies that are, I think they're probably going for like 100 billion cash at the IPO to help with their business. It's a 500, probably about $1 trillion company at some point. So it's going to be around. So you guys are going to be backed by Stargate and OpenAI. So let me do that real quick. So you got all the title in HOA. It also can put all the red flags, judgments, unreleased deeds of trust, mechanics, liens, probate, estate issues, HOA. Then you guys get in your inspection and objections. All your inspection scheduling, your objections resolution. You guys get down into D, your financing and appraisal. Your TC tracks, lender conditions, appraisal order, insurance binder, final underwriting deadline. And like I said, I've already put all this stuff in there, but you can always refine it and make it your own. Everything in here, make it your own. And you can do that in the first 30 days. Really, you have a fully operational system. I recommend about 90 days before you start your own GPT, and I'll help you with that. And I give you full license to anything that I have created already. You can use it however you want. Once you have it, you own it. It's yours. So it's awesome. And I estimate that by the time we have 1,000 users, we will basically. There were 35,000 foreclosures filed nationally in November. With just 1,000, nobody else would have been able to get foreclosures. All these prop tech companies that you guys see advertising, they'll be like, where are the foreclosures going? Because we can access these like literally as soon as like Jefferson County put these out. I ran this list today. This is the first 15 days. I forget how many business days in that, but 13 foreclosures were filed in my county in the last 15 days. So you're able to pull that up right away. Think about what you can do for your clients. If you got your clients, you can tell them this. You can, and actually we're raising the price. It's going to be, we're going to do every price raise we do. We're doing them quarterly up to at the end of 2026. It'll be about $2,500. But I will actually pay people a commission. So if you has the TC, bring me somebody they on board. And we do have a system to Patreon. I can actually give you a trial link, and you get a link so it tracks it. And you'll get a pretty good little commission referral, whatever, out of it. It won't be like some people put out like, here's $50. So I do throw that out there because you guys are. Think about having your clients on here, being able to be that seamless. You got your closing readiness, so all your settlement stuff. You got your TC mode for distressed deals. So if you're doing NEDs, probate, eviction, adjacent deals, it has the extra steps. So you can throw out things to your client legally because you're not negotiating contracts and stuff, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but you can pull up all your occupancy verification. You can do a lot of stuff for them. You can put a plan together for cash for keys for them. So you can do a lot of things that are over and above what other TCs do because they don't have the background in it because this is a whole system that deals with entirely A to Z of everything in real estate investing. You guys can go and put a lot of stuff together for your clients to get enhancements or to get benefits. You can make client benefits like, do they need cash or keys? Is there evictions? Things like that you can give them more help with. You can give them checklists. You can give them a lot of other stuff that you can just generate on the fly. And this stuff takes no time. This will do 90% of your work for you. And once you're automated, it takes about 30 days. Once you're automated, it's literally the sky's the limit. It's pretty unlimited. You get into probate authority. You can talk about probate courses, what the title pain is, old liens, clouds on title, unreleased mortgages, HOA. You guys can research all this in minutes. You literally can go to the AHJs and you can pull up the entire tax and sales history and permits and everything for that property. You can get it in minutes, put it in a PDF, have it for your clients, have it for yourself, enter it, build your files. Then, save your files in Dropbox or Airtable, or, if you want to just save them and put them in your documents, you can create all that. It's all 100% safe. So then you get your TC mode deliverable, your transaction coordinators. See, Dakota's getting back on. Hey, Dakota, you're back. Cool. Just say, if anybody has any questions, I think I tried to mute a few of you. Sometimes it mutes. So you get your timelines, you get your doc packs, you get your risk registers, all your weekly status. So let's see. So, like I said, it gives me sayings. TC mode is where deals stop dying. Anyone can get a contract signed. So a transaction coordinator makes sure it actually closes by controlling timelines, documents risk, and communications, especially in distressed deals where title and occupancy can get rid fast. So I'm going to go ahead and put a PDF together, and I will send these to you guys tonight when we're off. Real quick, I'll show you the prompt assistant. Yes, save a PDF to send the viewers. So I'll send that to you. It takes about half the time of the actual Zoom for me to process it on Zoom, and then I put it on YouTube and stuff. So it's going to make a PDF of all this for you guys, and I'll send it to you. See, I know some of it I talk fast, and some of it you can't. Some people can see it, some people don't see it well on screen. So I'll make sure you guys have it. As soon as it's done with this real quick, then I'll go ahead and show you guys the prompt assistant and what it looks like. So obviously, like I said, we've been doing this since 2020. This group actually came out of COVID when we were all, and I'd been a private money broker, capital connector, and we were looking, everybody was, we put 13 people together, and we built that into about 190. As of about a week ago, we had 190th person. So it's a pretty good group, and everybody's pretty close. I know Jamie's comes in; he's in it. He's been in it for a couple of years. So a lot of people in the group. So we're very friendly. And the good thing is you guys as TCs would have a lot of people that would be you get introduced to them, and that's some good clients for you already because everybody's going to be looking to do TC, looking for a TC. So you guys have some built-in clientele. We have the 2 Facebook groups, RCIC. I actually have 3 because if you guys are TCs, I have a TC group as well. But we have RCIC specific group where we have the private money associates. So like I said, right now it's basically lifetime. You own it. There's no subscription. A lot of these places are like, these people that pay like Deal Machine and PropStream for these distressed leads without skip tracing are charging like $599 a month. And all that stuff, and I know that some of the TC, I don't know what all the TC courses are charging. Ours is right now $399 for a lifetime. So basically it's $399. I have it priced at $700. It's 57% off, makes it $399. But at January 1st, I'm going to $1,000 because I've been told by some people to charge like $5,000. I'm never going to charge $5,000. I paid $2,500 for my private money broker course back in 2017-18. And so I don't believe in ever charging, like I said, I'm giving you guys a TC building. You guys, within 30 days, anybody that onboards this week, it's Christmas and all that with holidays, by mid-January, going to be rocking and rolling because you can do all these PDFs yourself. And like I said, I'm there. Jamie, Jamie, you can probably attest, I answer pretty quick when you guys.
Yeah, he
Yeah, Jamie's been around 3 years in the group, so. He can tell you guys, I literally, you guys got me on Messenger, I'm usually answering right away. So it's pretty cool. So like I said, so what you guys do is once you get the onboarding link, like I said, step 2, you basically is this, you get this. And then it has start here, it doesn't activate, how to build your embed your buy box. And then don't worry about the next tier. That's actually the new onboarding kit. I have the old one, believe it or not, still, because I'm building on it. So so the new one basically gets into all 10. There's 9 modes, and then there's the comms mode. So you guys can activate it and all that. It all happens in your prompt bar. There's a library. I can show you guys real quick. How much. Some of you guys probably don't see me all the time, like some people do. This is all the material that I produce, for, content and stuff. So I put a lot of stuff in there. Like we have rehab intelligence for the rehab mode, 35,000 foreclosures, market signals. I mean, literally, I do a lot of stuff with the library. It's explore, and a lot of people. I just started showing people this, and I've got workbooks in here. I've got like 20 white papers that are usually 5 to 10 pages, and I probably got about 20 to, I think the longest one's 70 pages of actually, like, you can pull up, like, if you want to study self-storage, or you want to study, if you're a TC, sometimes it's a good idea to learn what your clients are doing. And you don't have to, that way you don't have to go pay for a course, because you might only have a couple of people that are your clients, and that are doing RV parks. But why not now? You can just take advantage of going in and studying everything in this RV park, and you don't have to pay a penny for it. So you guys get the GPTs, and like I said, here's my GPT. I have Homebase, and I have RCIC, which is what we're on. Homebase is actually my version. It's got Craigslist, Carfax, StubHub. It's basically AI version. There's 3,500 prompts, presets. You get that as well. I tried that, and there's a Patreon community. I actually used it. I had to replace my car in October. I used it to actually find a car like Carfax. I got 5 VIN numbers of cars I was looking for. I put them in there. I was able to go and save $1,000. I bought a used car at a used car dealer. I spent $1,000 less than I was going to. I found out another dealer was trying to sell a salvage title, so I chose not to get that car, obviously. I got a really good deal on a car that I got. I've also used it to buy concert tickets. For StubHub, you can do everything. You can find a doctor, you can find a plumber, you can find an engineer, you can find an electrician, everything. Everything that is RCIC and Homebase is county and zip code. So you can put the city and all that in the state, and it's no big deal. It helps, but it's primarily county and zip code. So real quick, what I'm going to do to, let me see. Dakota, are you back on? Cool. Anybody got any questions? Mary, Dakota, Jamie, you guys? Like I said, a little too fast, so that's why I like to do the PDF. So I send you guys the PDF, and you guys can see everything that I just had on the screen. It's pretty cool. And then what I'm going to do now, we are closing out. We generally don't go more than an hour. If we go on an hour and a half, sometimes if we ever have, like, somebody comes on, like you're in the group and you want to talk about deals and you want to get specific, we will actually, at the end of the first hour, we will turn the recording off and we will go, like incognito, whatever the word is, so we can talk about specific deals. Good, but think about this. You guys see all this stuff with wholesalers posting, all kinds of people posting deals. Everybody has to worry about daisy chains and stuff. Nobody has to worry about this. You can put as much information in as you want as far as into the actual GPT and into the RCIC. So it's 100% safe and secure. There's never an issue. It's all encrypted by GPT. The only person that can see it is you. The only people that can see it outside of are people that you save the PDFs or Words or Excels for. There is something we can do. We can set up in the future when we got enough of it. We got enough people, we can actually set up some little bit of messaging through it. It's not as great as like instant messenger and stuff, but there is a process of being able to connect, and if you have multiple partners, there's also, I have the business plan because I have a business partner. So we pay $60 a month because you have to pay $30 and you have to have 2 users for the business plan for OpenAI, because basically you guys will see down on the bottom of the screen under my prompt boxes that ChatGPT can make mistakes. OpenAI doesn't use Nate Marshall's workspace data to train its models. So it's not training. Nothing in here is training nobody can train on it. But what happens is everybody's combined. So let's say Dakota, you have it, Jamie has it, Mary, you have it, and you guys are all working in it. You guys may be doing the same thing, but you may also be doing different things. We have people doing everything in our group. So we're not limited to one asset class or strategy. The combined, nobody can see what you're doing, but the combined the intelligence is building off of everybody's. So the AI is actually getting much stronger. It's getting more accurate. It's getting faster. There's more data there. So it's actually building. So let's say we have 1,000 users at some point. This thing's rocking and rolling 24/7 pretty much. It's building constantly. It's constantly upgrading. It's going to be upgrading all the time. A year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. It's upgrading perpetually. Every user, when you log on, you are building it. Even if you're just working on your workflow, you're actually contributing to building it. So it's a true community where everyone is actually benefiting from the people that are in the group. No matter what you're doing, if you're just doing TC stuff, you're getting more intelligence for your TC business from the people that are doing flips or buying rental properties, your clients, potential clients. So it's really good that way. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And if I'll try to do one more round if anybody's got any questions after I'm done typing this real quick. Can you? And it knows all. If you guys are wanting printing like Facebook and YouTube, it knows all the platforms like YT for YouTube, FB for Facebook, X. It does Patreon, Medium. You can write blogs. You can write articles. You can have it humanized. A lot of people have said early on in AI, everything's set mechanical in AI. You can have it. You can ask it to humanize it. You can always ask it to tweak it. It'll never get upset most of you. Sometimes I've put in the same thing like 3 times in like an hour it never gets. It's awesome. It can play chess with you. It doesn't know what chess is. It doesn't know what time of day it is. So sometimes I have had to go and fix, like when I put out like here's the Zoom tonight and it says it's Tuesday or something. So sometimes you got to remember that it's still a machine. Like it doesn't, and it talks to you like you. Sometimes you don't think it's a machine, but it's still a machine. Generate a title, description, tags, and a visual under 1.9. So YouTube requires their visuals, those little thumbnails, to be 2 megabytes or under. So I asked for 1.99 just to make sure. Covering tonight. Zoom. And it'll generate that for me. And then let me try to shake you guys off, unmute you guys. Dakota, Mary, Jamie, you guys got any questions? So, like I said, give me about 30 minutes, and I'll get the PDFs. I'll get that one that I generated earlier, and I will get that out to you guys. Anybody that, if you decide you want to get it, you want to get on board, let me know, and I'll get that PDF. It's 2 PDFs, PDF 1 and PDF 2. I do send a PayPal. It has 5 options. I do have Patreon as well. But I send that, and then literally I give you PDF 1, PDF 2. TCs, you get the 3rd Facebook group. You get 2 Facebook groups. And then basically we do the Zooms Wednesdays and Thursday nights. We'll do a Zoom Wednesday and then public, and then we'll do another one Thursday this week. We will not do any Zooms next week. We'll resume on January 5th. We normally don't do 3. We were sometimes doing 3, but it kind of gets a little, some people end up being on 2 or 3, and it's like the same for that week. So we generally will be doing 2, like we'll do one on the 5th of January, the 7th, and the 8th. Starting the next week, we'll just do Wednesdays and Thursdays. Those are both 5 p.m. Denver time. So just remember anytime, whatever, I usually give you guys whatever time it is here. So like I said, it just printed all my YouTube and all my YouTube information. So now what I'll do is I'll go over to, real quick. I'm going to go over real quick here, and I'll show you guys one something. So let me show you guys. I'll try to make an image. If you guys want to see anything else, like I said, man, I have all the PDFs. I can send you stuff on these. You guys can really, spread the words out to your clients when you know people are looking, because you guys are going to meet people, and you guys, like I said, I'll make it worth your while for you to bring. You have clients and stuff. They can come here and, they can get on board, and you can. You can help them. A lot of them find properties. So always make it worth your while. Like I said, we're going to $1,000 on January 1st. We're going to $1,500. Then it's basically $500 on the 1st of April, July, October. It'll tap out probably about $2,500 a month. So I don't know. I have to figure out exactly what I would do for a referral. I would run referrals through the Patreon because there's actually a tracking system where I can give you so many. I can give you like 25 or 10 to start with, and it tracks it. You give a little trial, and then when they upgrade, then it tracks it. So I know exactly who it is because it has your name on it, and you guys, when you guys are in that system, you guys will actually get that. So if you guys ever want to participate, or you got clients or other people you want to bring in, you guys just saw me, and your clients can unlimited 35,000 foreclosures. Think about that. If these guys are out there looking for foreclosures, they're out there looking for evictions, they can beat Deal Machine, PropStream, Goliath, Batch Leads, everyone, Investor Lift. There's no need for it. And these come skip traced. Nobody needs to ever do any skip tracing. So we're talking about right now, you can tell your client, hey, you can for $400 and then $20 a month, you'd never have to pay for for lead generation again or anything, really. I mean, obviously, people get websites or offices or cell phones, but yeah, you really pretty much nobody has to. Everybody can run their business off of $399 and then $20 a month. They just pay that to OpenAI, as long as you have it. And then if you build your GPT, you have it. For life. You can keep even building onto it. Like I said, I give you full license, and you can monetize whatever I've built. So if I've built it, you build it, and if somebody else wants to get it from you, you don't have to pay me a penny. As you basically, when you get this, you own it. It's yours. So my feeling is I'm going to try to make my cash cow kind of be home based, because I can go out and probably do like $10, maybe $5 a month, or Patreon's like $3 at minimum. There's 20 million paid users of ChatGPT. That's like my customer base potentially. So I can go out there and, like I said, you guys get home base included. I send you that activation as well, and you have the home base GPT. But that's going to be really where the cash cow is going to be, because I want to try to go out and get 100,000 people. That's finding plumbers, finding electricians, finding restaurants, finding healthcare, finding a dentist. It's all that stuff like Craigslist, Carfax, Homebase is awesome. StubHub, Cars.com, Homes.com, you name it. Angie. There's my visual. So I just made my visual for me. So yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it doesn't take that much to learn. Like I said, and I've got a prompt pack I can send everybody. You get a 10-step onboarding, and then you get another one that's like 5 PDFs that combine into one. It'll actually help you build a cockpit, which is like a dashboard. It'll help you build and I think I probably showed kind of not a really great version of it, because it was just like a visual. It wasn't like the exact. But you can build a cockpit, which is your dashboard. You can build a CRM. You can put your vault together using Dropbox, using Airtable, Google Docs. You build a pretty good vault. It's all yours. It's inexpensive. Nobody needs to be out there spending $5,000 starting a TC business, because you have everything here for like $399 plus $20 a month. And like I said, if there's something missing, we build it. I build stuff on the fly. Somebody's like, Willie Ingram can tell you that. Like, he's hit me up. I need this. Do you have this? I can build it usually on the fly and get it to everybody. I generally say if it's going to be a benefit, then we try to get it to everybody in the group. We're not giving it to anybody outside the group. But then if you guys want to build stuff, and if you need my help, and it's just you want to keep something internally, we'll build it internally. We'll just jump on a Zoom. You'll share a screen with me instead of me sharing a screen with you, and we'll build it. So you got, like I said, that 3 hours. I'm giving everybody 3 hours of in 2026. Hopefully everybody starts scheduling it. We'll probably start mid-January, and everybody will get like 3 hours. Like I said, an hour, and then a week later we'll have the live session, and then about a week after that the follow-up. And you guys will tune in your business. What I want to do is, you guys are TCs, or you guys get on board who aren't. You got the full 30 days of the onboarding process to have everything come alive and be generating, and that way, before we do that tune-up, because that way it's kind of redundant at that point. But yeah, I appreciate everybody's time. I'll get you guys the PDFs, and then hit me up, Messenger. I can, we can definitely get people. This is a good week to onboard, because like I said, it's with Christmas is a little slow. And I do this all the time, so I'm like, people will tell you. I mean, Jamie can probably tell you. How many days do you think I'm not on doing something?
I can't keep up with you, brother.
I know. So
Well,
yeah,
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll get you this PDF, Mary.
All right, I'm gonna hop off, but you guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Fly, Nate. Thanks.
Okay, yeah. Cool, I'll get it to you. Dakota, hope you're feeling better. All right, cool. Hey, are you still on? I tried to get you on mute earlier, but yeah, I was hoping you'd feel better. Michael told me you had to have surgery, so. Let me go to stop share and take the recording off.